Hey y'all, welcome back to episode 8 of my She Reads series, Cause She Reads. I'm about to talk about the next book on my list, The Four Agreements. Let me go get it. So this is the book. It's called The Four Agreements. The subtitle is A Toltec Wisdom Book by Don Miguel Ruiz. And yeah, I'm excited to tell you guys what I thought of this book today. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, I'm so glad you're here. Keep on watching. And I guess another subtitle of this book is A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom. So again, this is what the book looks like. Really pretty. Really small book. Really easy read. It's less than 140 pages, so you could read this in a day, maybe two. I think it's a really great, start to a spiritual journey. I think, just because it's so small, it's really easy to understand and easy to follow. And it's just a really special book. I think Don Miguel Ruiz really developed four really strong agreements. The reason why I read this book, probably because of Oprah. I remember Oprah talking about this book on her show many, many years ago. But also this book, it's just really popular. It has a review on the back from Deepak Chopra. He's a really popular spiritual leader as well. So, you know why I read it? Okay, because I think originally I wasn't going to read the book, because if you watch the episode on Oprah or wherever where they're talking about the four agreements, they usually just go through them, and for me that was sufficient. Learning about what the four agreements are via an episode of Oprah or hearing other creators talk about it, for me it was sufficient. I think what happened was, for me, I wanted to read it so that I could see if it would be appropriate for some of my students. I've worked with students of all ages. This past year I worked with high schoolers, and I think I read it to try to figure out if it would be appropriate for them. And if I remember correctly, sorry, I read this book a while ago. I'm making this video so late in comparison to when I read the book. But if I remember correctly, I think I ended up finishing the book and feeling like it was a little bit too advanced for the average high schooler. However, if you have maybe a small group of advanced high schoolers, I think they could really benefit from this. Okay, so the four agreements are: number 1, be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take anything personally. Number 3, don't make assumptions. And number 4, always do your best. It's just, they're so strong. And he basically offers these four agreements as a guide to live a better, more fulfilled life that's more meaningful and more peaceful. Practical guide to personal freedom. Right off the bat, I really love the agreement to be impeccable with your word. That's something that I've personally practiced from a really young age. I would say about middle school age. And I don't know. I think intuitively I just understood the truth in that, and the kind of the value in that, and understanding that it affects your life in more ways than you can even imagine. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of the quotes that I really love from the book that I highlighted. It's not too many. I might be able to go through all of them. Okay, so the first quote that I highlighted is from the second agreement, don't take anything personally. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. Oh my God. This is so fun because like I told you guys, I read this book well over a year ago at this point. I actually think I book clubbed this book, but by the time we got to this book in the book club, the only person that was in the book club was me and my partner, which was just so amazing. Like, I think reading books like this with other people is just so much more, it just like, it lets the topics marinate more. Oh man, that's so true. It's so selfish to take things personal. Like, it's not everything is about you. And I think for me personally, like, this is such a freeing thing to feel, especially for us progressives or us who work in social work or in education. Like, I really practice this with my students. Like, I don't take their behaviors personally. I don't take it as a personal attack, or like they're disrespecting me. You know, these kids don't know me. And I'm here to help them and serve them. And it just allows me to have a more peaceful kind of interaction with them because, you know, I see their behavior as, oh, there's something going on with them. Not they're trying to be mean to me. And when you treat children like that, it might take a long time, but eventually they do come around to you and they can see the consistency in you and pick up on your kind of genuine energy. Okay, the next quote. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They're in a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. This is, okay. The crazy thing about this is that, and this is not fun for the ego, because in order to not take maybe negative things personally, it also means that you can't take positive things personal. And it's like, you know, like if someone gives you a compliment or whatever, like you also kind of shouldn't be taking that personal, because them giving you that compliment is really kind of, it's more of like a reflection of their own inner world than it is about you. And it's so fascinating. As someone who like wears her natural hair, I think it's so fascinating because I wear my hair in like a lot of different ways. I would say probably like half the year it's natural, and it's so interesting. Like, I constantly get approached by strangers, and it's like a practice, especially as a Black girl, to like not take in those compliments too much to the point where I'm like unhealthily clinging to my hair, or I'm like so invested in it that I feel like it's the only beautiful thing about me, or it's the most beautiful thing about me, or like, you know what I mean? Black girls, y'all get it. And so I think anytime someone compliments me on my hair, I just kind of take it as a moment to appreciate, like, oh wow, this is another stranger in the world who appreciates natural hair. And like, I kind of turn it around and kind of flip it to, instead of me being like, oh, I'm so amazing, I'm so beautiful, I'm better than everyone because my hair's, like, you can't do that. You can't take compliments personally in the same way that you can't take insults personally, because at the end of the day, it's a reflection of that person's inner world, not really yours. T. Okay, the next quote that I really liked: do not expect people to tell you the truth because they also lie to themselves. You have to trust yourself and choose to believe or not to believe what someone says to you. Ooh, ooh. Do not expect people to tell you the truth because they also lie to themselves. Bro, that's such a hard one, right? Because it's like, oh, that's such a hard one. Especially for us folks who would consider ourselves super honest, or like I said before, like, my favorite agreement is be impeccable with your word, because that honesty is something that I've been practicing for a long time, and it's like a really important value of mine. But it's not like that for everybody, right? Like, people are just trying to survive, to get by, to, you know, people are afraid, and people behave based on trauma responses, and, you know, it doesn't always align with maybe your values or even values that they say. And that's so hard, because you want to just take everything that everyone says at face value, but at the end of the day, you always have to use your own discernment, right? And allow people to build trust with you slowly, and not just assume right off the bat that everyone is 100% honest all the time. When we really see other people as they are without taking it personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, it is okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid. I literally just said that. They are afraid you will discover that they are not perfect. It is painful to take that social mask off. If others say one thing but do another, you are lying to yourself if you don't listen to their actions. I'm going to say that again. If others say one thing but do another, you are lying to yourself if you don't listen to their actions. But if you are truthful with yourself, you will save yourself a lot of emotional pain. Telling yourself the truth about it may hurt, but you don't need to be attached to the pain. Healing is on the way, and it's just a matter of time before things will be better for you. Oh my God. All right, this next quote I like. You will find that you don't need to trust others as much as you need to trust yourself to make the right choices. Sorry. Okay, so like, we say this all the time, right? Like, oh, I don't trust anyone. Like, if you have like a bad relationship, romantic or platonic, like, oh, I just can't trust anyone anymore. Da, da, da. But what you're really saying is, I can't trust myself to make the right choices. I can't trust myself to discern between a trustworthy person and a non-trustworthy person. And that's really the fucking tea, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about how you are navigating the world. The world is going to be what it is, right? Do you have the skills to navigate it? And that's really the biggest part of the work, is developing yourself enough to develop those skills. All right, this is the last quote from this chapter that I highlighted. If you keep this agreement, you can travel around the world with your heart completely open and no one can hurt you. You can say, I love you, without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. You can ask for what you need. You can say yes or you can say no. Whatever you choose, without guilt or self-judgment. You can choose to follow your heart always. You can be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. You can stay in your state of bliss, and hell will not affect you at all. Girl. And this is all about the second agreement, don't take anything personally. You can be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. Again, that work has to be your priority, right? Is developing that inner peace, that inner happiness, that inner meaning. Because the world's going to do what it's going to do. It's going, right? It's the best of times. It's the worst of times. It's going to be fucked up. It's going to be hard. People are going to be struggling, and you're going to come across traumatized people constantly, bigoted people constantly. And it's like, but that doesn't mean that you have to be closed off, right? Because you can trust yourself and trust your discernment to be able to know, like, hey, I'm going to get to know this person. And then after they show you a couple red flags, you pull back, right? And then that gives you space to kind of get to know the next person. All right, so there's 2 more quotes that I liked. And these are from chapter 6, Breaking Old Agreements. So important. I interpret that as like unlearning maybe some of the unhealthy things that we've been conditioned. Okay. When someone can touch what used to be a wound and it no longer hurts you, then you know you have truly forgiven. Oh my God. So this part of the chapter is about forgiveness of family or friends who have hurt you, or anyone, I guess, who has hurt you. How do you know you have forgiven someone? And it's when hearing their name doesn't rile you up anymore. You can hear their name and just be at peace. You can talk about what happened without it making you angry. I think, like, you're still allowed to mourn, but can you talk about it? And I would argue that is one reason why it's important to talk about some of the harder things that have happened in your life. Ever since I was young, I noticed, like, sometimes people are very, and I understand, like, being private, especially with someone you don't know that well, like, you know, people should probably work to hear your story. But I always found it so interesting when people are like, I don't want to talk about it, and I'm like, why? Just talk about it. Like, I think talking about the things that have hurt you in your life can help in the healing, Anyway. All right, and the last quote that I highlighted is from the same chapter. That is what, in the Toltec way, the angel of death teaches us. The angel of death comes to us and says, you see, everything that exists here is mine. It is not yours. Your house, your spouse, your children, your car, your career, your money. Everything is mine, and I can take it away when I want to. But for now, you can use it. Oh my God. Again, I haven't looked at this since I put this book down over a year ago, and I'm just like, let me read this without any context of, like, what the hell? That's crazy. So this part of the chapter is about death. Such an important topic, bro. I feel like as a teacher, this past year, I've brought up this topic in the classroom, but also because some of my students wanted us to talk about it. And it was controversial to bring up. Like, it's just interesting how it makes people so uncomfortable. But I think it's so important because it dictates, like, all of our decisions in life. And also, you could die at any age. Like, I knew people who died in high school. So why can't I talk to my high schoolers about death? That is what the angel of death teaches us. The angel of death comes to us and says, you see, everything that exists here is mine. It's not yours. Right? Like, ooh, that's tea. Oh my God. But the gift of that is that it forces us to lean into presence. It forces us to lean into gratitude. And to lean into the spiritual practice of letting go or detachment, right? Girl. Anyway, that is all the quotes that I liked from this book. Hell yeah. Oh my God. After reading these quotes again, I'm like, this book's tea. Yeah. And I would love to do like a small group club of like some of my advanced high schoolers. Like, I think about the high schoolers I work with this past year and I'm like, my freshmen, no, they would not be into this. Or they might be a tiny bit. Some of my juniors, nah. But like my high juniors, my accelerated juniors, a good chunk of them, I could read this with them and they would really, really take something from it. So yeah, if you're a teacher and you have a little freedom in your classroom to read a little something, shit, you could even, cherry pick, I think, from this book. I don't even think you necessarily need to read it cover to cover, but you definitely could because it's quite short. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today for episode 8, I think this is, of She Reads. The next book that we're going to be talking about is a book that I'm currently reading. We finally caught up. Hopefully I won't get behind again, but I don't know. Lives. And the book I'm currently reading is long as fuck, bro. It's Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I finally broke down and started reading it because I'm so obsessed with the movie and the story. But it's a long fucking book. It's like 1,200 pages. And so I'm like, we'll see how long it takes me. Hopefully it won't take me too long. But yeah, as soon as I finish reading that, I'll try to make a video for y'all. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I have some more personal videos that you could pay for if you want as well. But other than that, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.